You ever have one of those days that just feels lost before it even really gets started? Well, it almost always comes down to how you handle three things you wake up with every single day: your time, your energy, and your focus. How you use those in the first couple of hours, that can literally make or break your whole day. So let's get into it. Okay, let's do some quick math. We all get the same 168 hours a week. No more, no less. But think about it. Take out about 56 hours for sleep, another 12 for just eating, and suddenly you're left with only 100 hours for, well, everything else. Your job, your family, your passions, all of it. But here's the real problem. Most of us burn through our best mental energy on tiny, meaningless decisions before we've even finished our morning coffee. And that brings us to the main villain of our story today: decision fatigue. Think of your brain power like a phone battery. Every little choice you make, what to wear, what to eat, which email to open first, it's like a tiny app running in the background, just draining that battery. By the time you get to the big, important stuff that actually matters, you're already running on fumes. Now get this, because this is pretty wild. We like to think we're these super logical creatures, right? But the science tells a very different story. Turns out, nearly 99% of our decisions are driven by pure emotion. So what does that mean? It means when you're tired and your energy is low, you're way more likely to make bad emotional choices that throw your entire day off track. So, what's the takeaway here? It's simple. If your whole strategy is to just rely on willpower or, wait until you're in the mood, you're basically planning to fail. Willpower just isn't going to cut it. It runs out way too fast. The only real way to beat decision fatigue for good is to stop relying on it. You need a system. And this right here, this is the fundamental difference between how amateurs approach their day and how professionals do. See, amateurs wake up and just go with the flow, letting whatever mood they're in dictate their actions. Professionals, they run on systems. I mean, just think about it for a second. In any job where the stakes are incredibly high, systems are everything. An airline pilot with thousands of flight hours still goes through a checklist before every single takeoff. A world-renowned surgeon follows a strict protocol for every single operation. They don't just wing it, they use systems, because it removes the risk of error and guarantees they can perform at their best. Let's just break this down. On one side, you have the amateur who kind of vibes their way through the morning. They rely on their mood, they go with the flow, and they're just bleeding mental energy on stuff that doesn't matter. But on the other side, you've got the professional. They have a system, they have a checklist, and they fiercely protect their mental energy for the big things. It's all about taking the guesswork out of the equation. All right, so how do we actually do this? How do you make that switch from amateur to professional in your own life? Well, it all starts by building your first system, what we're going to call your health operating system. Because let's be honest, you can't have a sharp mind if your body isn't running right. Your health OS really boils down to three core pillars, three things we need to automate to stop that daily energy drain. It's your sleep, your nutrition, and your movement. First up, sleep. Instead of just hoping for a good night's rest, let's build a system for it. You can optimize your environment by setting a cool room temperature. Get that phone out of the bedroom. It is literally engineered to destroy your sleep. And maybe most important of all, stick to the same wake-up time every single day. It trains your body's internal clock. And that little detail right there, 19 degrees Celsius, which is about 66 Fahrenheit, that's a perfect example of a system in action. It's not just a random number. Studies show that a cooler room helps your body get deeper, more restorative sleep. You make the decision once, you set it, and you never have to waste a single drop of mental energy on it again. And we can take this exact same logic and apply it straight to your food and exercise. Pick a healthy default breakfast that you eat every morning, cook your lunches for the week on Sunday, and put your workouts in your calendar like they are non-negotiable meetings with your most important client. That way, when the alarm goes off, there's no debate. There's no, do I feel like it? The system has already made the decision for you. Okay, so you've got your physical energy dialed in. Now what? Now it's time to protect your most precious resource, your focus. And that brings us to our second system, the priority protocol. This is what you do before you even think about opening your email. Because we've all fallen into this trap, right? The second you open your inbox or scroll through social media, you are letting everyone else's priorities hijack your day. You immediately switch from being the driver to just being a passenger, reacting to whatever comes your way. The way to fight this is actually super simple. It's a three-step process designed to help you decide proactively how you're going to spend your time and attention before the week even gets a chance to get crazy. And this is where the magic really happens. All the hard decisions get made in advance, during your weekly review, when you're calm and clear-headed. You look at your big goals, and you block out specific, non-negotiable times for the deep work that's going to move the needle. So when you wake up on, say, a Tuesday morning, your only job is to look at the calendar and execute the brilliant plan you already made for yourself. All right, let's wrap all this up. Winning your day, winning your week, it's not about more hustle, and it's definitely not about more willpower. It's about designing smarter systems that make high performance your natural default state. So, number one, you got to know your enemy. And your enemy is decision fatigue. Your primary mission is to ruthlessly hunt down and eliminate trivial decisions to save your best brain power for what really counts. Number two, build your weapons. That's your health OS to automate your body and your priority protocol to automate your focus. The whole idea is you decide once, and then you just let the system do the heavy lifting. And finally, number three, just execute the plan. With these systems humming along in the background, your morning becomes beautifully simple. You just show up and you do the important work that your best self has already decided matters most. Look, this isn't just some interesting theory. It's about taking action. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge, a question to think about. What is the one single decision you can eliminate from your morning starting tomorrow to win back some of that precious mental energy?